Good afternoon, Dr. Ravi Edirisinghe, Chief Guest, Mr. Bradley Emerson, faculty, the young graduates or the new graduates, parents, families. It's indeed an honor. When Bradley called me, I said, certainly I will come to be here because this is something that I really believe in. Education is what makes a person, and it is more important today, I think, than ever in the past in independent Sri Lanka, that we need to choose a path. We are at a crossroads. We are bankrupt. It's unfortunate and it's sad. And it hurts us all. I may not be bankrupt personally, but I'm bankrupt as a citizen of my country. It's embarrassing. It is a shared pain. So, what do? We talk about 75 years of great history, or rather achievements, accomplishments. I worked in multiple countries. When I worked with the World Bank and ADB as what they call an international consultant, USAID, etc. I used to travel quite extensively in Asia and in Africa and South America. And if you go to these countries and when you come back, you feel, look, this is home. And home is not all that bad. And there are many countries who are much worse off than we are. But no country post World War II in this part of the world declared bankruptcy. Yes, we have BMWs, we have tall towers, we have stadia, we have all kinds of things. The Friday nights, if you go to Park Street, you would never think this country is going through any rough patch at all. There is so much of wealth, but concentrated in a few. But the reality is, go to a rural area or go to a low-income area in my electorate, which is just not far away, Kotte, place like Bandar Nayakapura, or place like that. You really feel the great poverty, the pain of absolute miserableness. Not being able to purchase, forget about a pack of 450 grams of milk powder, not a half a pack, not a quarter pack, but a teaspoon. That is the reality of this nation. Now we can blame people, we can point fingers. Like the president once said before he became president, we'll probably have to go to Vijay and Kuveni's time. It's no point. That's water under the bridge. You can never regain the time we've lost. Then we have alternatives, and we got to understand what those alternatives will bring us. And the reason why it is important that you understand a little beyond the surface of a problem is only then would you be able to analyze, appreciate the goods and bads, and be able to make a informed, evidence-based decision. That's what you learn in college. You don't just write because somebody told you. You look at the material available. You search the internet. You read what has to be read. You interview people. You talk to your professors. And then you make an informed answer to your question. And in politics also, Unfortunately, even though that is what ought to happen, that is not what is really happening. Decisions are made on the whim. Decisions are made based on, not on evidence, but on superstition. Decisions are based on belief that has no substance or basis. And we end up bankrupt. So now, across the hall, a couple of days ago, I was listening to the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh. I had the privilege of, I didn't have time to sit and have dinner, but pre-dinner, Bangladeshis serve you soft drinks. I had a drink and some snacks. Talking to him, the man worked in the United States for like 25, 30 years, taught at many universities, including the University of Boston, and had recently taken over the position as a foreign minister of Bangladesh. And I was cringing because I've been to Bangladesh multiple times. We used to laugh at Bangladesh. Now, when he said, or rather he didn't tell me directly because he was embarrassed to tell this to me directly, but in a way indicated that we owe them $200 million. And we haven't paid them. We are running away. We are hiding. We borrowed it, saying we'll give it back in 3 months. Now it's almost or more than a year. And they said they're going to hire Hathuru Singha back. They're going to beat the hell out of everybody because he's good. We do things because we've analyzed it and we realized Hathuru Singha is the best. We're going to bring him back. They said, or he said, they're building a tunnel under one of the rivers. It's a delta. It's 13 kilometers long. As nothing like that has been ever attempted in this part of the world. And he also said, you know, just the other day, we inaugurated our first light rail in Dhaka. You know, Dhaka, rather Bangladesh, it's perhaps the fastest growing country right now in the world, or country of a significant size. It realized it was having some issues. The educated people running the country listened to the advice of professionals and said, okay, before we get into a crisis, let us resolve our temporary liquidity issues. I went to the IMF. I think in November or December they got a staff level agreement. Already 2 weeks ago, money is disbursed. All done, no issues. No default, no bankruptcy, nothing. The debt to GDP ratio is 40%. For comparison, ours is 145%. The currency, or rather the reserves, forex reserves, something like 38 or 45 billion dollars. Ours is like 300 million. Maybe not even that much. Once you take away the $1.6 billion unusable Chinese swap that was sold to us by certain people saying, here, we got money. There's nothing to worry. But the thing about that country, and what we got to learn by looking at examples and understanding how people are succeeding, is they've opened their mind. The ideology has changed from what they were to a nation of people who are saying, yes, we can and we will. They work hard. And they said, we are not afraid to compete with the world. Harsha, we are going to sign a comprehensive economic partnership agreement with India ASAP. What about our country? When we tried to sign the free trade agreement with Singapore, we were told, do not do that. Because if you do, Singaporeans will come by the shipload, plane load and take all our jobs. That close mindset is the one that has driven us to the ground. Please note, there is no country in the world today progressing that is closed. When I say open, I mean integrated with the rest of the world. Look at the production processes of today. Those days, a product was manufactured in a particular country. Today, it doesn't happen like that. Today, products are manufactured in what are called global or regional production networks. There are buyer-driven networks where a country would add labor and a few things. The technology, the patents, everything else belongs to some other country and you have an arm's length relationship. Or you have product-driven global production networks. And that's what is important and that's what I want you to think about, because as graduates go into the world today, where are you going to be working? What are you going to be doing? What is your future? The future, I don't know how young or old you are, is a globalized world. You may say whatever you want to say. You may throw as many stones as you wish to. But the world is going in one direction, whether you like it or whether you don't. As a small nation that cannot change the way the world works, it is better for us to integrate and leverage what's happening than oppose it. They said, instead of cursing the darkness, light one lamp. Open your mind. So in producer-driven global production networks, they are vertically integrated. Technology, capital, human resources, management techniques, marketing skills, business acumen, they are all mobile today. They're not restricted to one geographic location. It used to be a time when it was, but no longer. I'm not going to bore you with examples, but you know what I'm referring to. Now, when these factors of production are mobile, can move from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, if you artificially block those movements, who's going to suffer? The country that's blocking the movement. If you take higher tech production, take your telephone, almost everyone here, not almost everyone here has a mobile phone. Some of you may have an iPhone. Google and see where your iPhone is made. It is made in 43 different countries. The screen was developed in Corning in New York, but is manufactured in Vietnam or something. The camera was developed and produced by Sony. The speaker is Bose or something like that. These are components that come together. Sometimes the circuit is printed and it shifts between jurisdictions more than once. There has to be flexibility. Logistics has to be done with no restriction, with ease. Customs cannot hold up the product in the warehouse for 3 days or 3 weeks until somebody's paid something, or 18 different forms are filled. It's an ideological change that we are global citizens. So if you work for iPhone, or if you're part of producing an iPhone, it doesn't really matter where you are. It doesn't matter. So, unless the people who run this country or expect to run this country understand that we have to unshackle this economy, to loosen and remove the chains we have put and block these machines from functioning, we have no future. We have no future. And all the people who come and tell you, I got a solution, a local solution, they are perhaps may be able to convince people who are uneducated or are not willing to understand the reality on the ground. But we must all say to them, to others, let us look at it. Let us analyze it. I'm not going to go on and on, Bradley. I'm going to stop. But my good friend Harsha, the guy who runs CodeGen, the guy who created with Beshan Kulapala the Vega, I admire that company. Harsha is in regular touch with me. He sent me chat GBT the other day. He said, Harsha, just check this out. Can I ask you a question? Raise your hand if chat GBT wrote your dissertation. Okay, perhaps it didn't write your dissertation. Have you at least gone and checked it out? How many have gone and checked it out? 10%, 7%. Check it out. It got through the British medical exam by itself. It got a B. It did. What does it mean? It means as you go to the workforce, as you progress, a lot of what you call, memorized knowledge is not going to be of any use. Chat GPT will write your paper. So I don't know how universities are going to deal with it. How much of, when we wrote our dissertations, we had the whole thing about plagiarism and all that. This is not plagiarism. You're not copying from anyone. He's just doing the work for you. So I guess when you register Harsha De Silva +1. It's my pocket companion. Right? So, I am saying that yes, it is tough. Yes, the world is changing. Yes, the environment is unfamiliar. Yes, we are not doing too well as a nation. But I believe in this country as much as most of you believe in this country. One thing is, this is small. It's only 20 million people. It's smaller than a city in India. And the other thing is you are in the perfect, absolutely perfect location. Right? So just take those two natural advantages we have. I'm not going to talk about the others. That itself should tell us that we can do it. It's about breaking the walls around this country. And it's about building bridges from this nation to the world. That's what it is about. It can be in anything. Global production networks to start manufacturing radios or TVs or electronics or auto parts or what have you. And I'm going to stop with this. People are complaining, all the educated Sri Lankans are migrating. I know so many who are going. I'm not going to ask them to stay back. What right do I have? I have no right. It's individual choice. Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the Middle East, UK, America. Okay. Brain drain. I think down the road, brain gain. Like the NRIs, the Indian, Silicon Valley of India. Where did they come from? Right? Everybody who went to the US and others brought money, brought knowledge, brought attitudes, brought marketing skills, brought networks and created what it is today. But that's down the road. But what about now? This is something I'm going to leave with you to think about. Why is it that Sri Lanka is the only country in the world, as far as I know, perhaps outside of North Korea, which has no path to citizenship? We don't. We just don't. So we have opened the gates for everyone to go. We have closed all the gates for anyone to come. So if everyone's going and we are telling no one to come, what will happen? So what I'm saying is, let's not fear competition. Integration, like I said, in today's world is not just capital and machines, but of knowledge, but of skills, but of know-how, but of technology, management skills. All those matter. And if we build bridges to the world, my friends, and produce here for more than us to consume, produce here for more than us to consume, then we will be able to once and for all get out of this rut beyond the stabilization that we now have. So with that note, I just want to give you a sort of a reality check. I don't see the future. I'm just a regular fellow. But this is how I see. This is how I envision. Right? So, I congratulate you. I see a number of Royal College ties. I'm very proud to see those Royal College ties. Not saying anything else about any other tie, but by the way. And everyone who went to every school, somehow graduating with bachelor's degrees, some are graduating with graduate degrees. I wish you all the very best. And you have a tough time ahead. But as they say, esto perpetua. What does it mean? It's obviously not disque out, disque day. You know the Thomian motto. What does it say? Google. I'll leave that to you and think about it. Thank you very much. All the best.